Okay, again, another one of John's workshops. Did this thing where we made like a little collage picture and then wrote a poem from it, and this is the poem that came out of that. And it's called "I've Got So Much Love to Give, I Just Don't Know Where to Put It." You are ready to notice something. You offer all while guarding close. You want our bodies to buck, bite, give in. You've got to care. We merge interest. I'll wear that polka dot dress, and you know I always fall head over heels for boys with holes in their Converse. You illuminate me, cherry lips, when you forsake your vision. You are my vacancy. Palm struck as you were, you caught me, contained me. Palm to palm, an arm round my waist. You might even reach my high anxiety, which performs its lies, paid out in transformed flesh. My head is in a bitter whirl, you can sweeten me, honey. I know about the snowdrop in your suit pockets, next to your Parker pen and your spring leaf tie. You shout your dilemma to appear. How to write the stars you know while breathing dust. I've got two poems that go together. One of them I've not read for a little while. One of them is a relatively recent poem. Those of you that know me know that I write a lot about my dead dad, and he took a lot of photographs, so I write a lot about photographs and him. And this one is called My Father's Lens. I don't know whose eyes saw this in the viewfinder first for sure, but I think it was my father, if only for the composition. No mouths or eyes visible, the children all engaged with their quarry, tadpoles in a bowl. We are all illuminated against the Rousseau foliage. We are all sunburnished hair, shades of red and white, and they're mingling. That washed out sweatshirt, the colour of cherry blossom. I'm the only one not camellia socked. Two of us are wearing matching ladybird red-buckled start-right shoes. I remember the advertising. A poster with a boy and girl walking into the wilderness, just hoods facing the woods. My hand is clenched while others crouch over the bowl, just my chin, a flash of white blonde bob is visible. But those are my double-plastered knees, and I remember how that stick of rock-striped dress would never cover them when I knelt in grass, but not what I kept in the pocket. And this is one that Becca I dictated to her one day when I couldn't make her laptop work due to hangover-related problems. And we edited this together, and it's called Dusk in Northumberland. So this is about a photograph my father took of me that I found relatively recently. I cannot throw away this faulty photograph. Wonder if Mother peeled off that sticker. The one I remember. Boots' pronouncement of defects on red eyes, on ghosts of double exposures now half forgotten. Framed by the stone walls, scaling hills, I didn't know that my great-grandfather built all the skill that made them stand without cement. The photograph is me. I know my tiny figure wrapped up in that pale pink and blue cloth kit's jacket, with a stuffed monkey in the pocket. The little red kite, the string taut, proof of the wind that day. Cloud is most of the photo, the tail of the kite trailing left, the brightest flash. I am but a smudge, a pale corona of hair, a bundled figure caught in motion. I can only guess the time of year from the dark grass of the field I'm running on. you wouldn't see me unless this matters. It matters to me that in this fading light he wanted to capture this, knowing it would be one of the last things he taught me. I barely remember that stony cottage. I remember the hills climbed, the Roman wall walked, the bear brought to the top of the hill, fair wind buffeted as my anorak. The hills like a shaken sheet, unreal to a girl used only to the endless ruler horizon of Norfolk. Yeah, that's it. Sorry, I was going to end on Betty Blue. That was. Have I done loads? It's been reasonable.
Very reasonable. Very reasonable.
So it's coming up to the time of year again where a load of us poets go off to an island off Scotland called Arran. You can still come and join us if you want to camp. If you ask John G. Hall in the corner here, and several of us have already been there for several years. And this was written there after listening to Ginsberg's Howl poem. This is not a howl, this is a poem using some of his techniques. And it's for Ruth, Betty Blue, and all the fucked up women I ever knew, who has marked their skin and body with the darkness in their head, who has offered up their body for money and found it taken from their hands without payment, who has been there with the white walls and all that noise, who has felt trapped by their own skull, who has been beaten by the one they loved, who has offered their limitless love and found it rejected, who has been made afraid to walk the city night despite lamplight, who has been made to feel their body is inadequate, that it makes them unworthy of ornament, who has changed their body, hair, skin, face, altered it so that you know exactly how fucked up and ugly they feel, who has cried wolf, who has cried for help but too softly, who has been made to feel their gender is at fault, who has lost the plot, lost their keys, lost their voice, their face, their shoes, their self-respect, their virginity. God, who they seriously doubt exists, only knows where. Who has been abused by pharmaceuticals, who has abused pharmaceuticals. White coats, nurses, police, and the rest. Who has been to hell and back, who has been to court to point the finger. Who has been scared and alone, scared in a crowd, scared in the sea, scared of their own grey matter. Who has been blacker and blacker in thought than the sky at night, who has failed to see the beauty in simplicity, who has forgotten the laying on of hands can be comforting communication, who has wept and flooded the room and half drowned like Alice, who's fallen in like Alice, who does not think they deserve to bask in the sun like a seal bent on a rock, who does not think the world owes them anything, who does not think their brain, their witty, artistic, sarcastic, maladjusted brain is worth nothing. Their achievements mere bones of things, no flesh and tendons to articulate them and make them real. They've had bones broken, have wanted to break their bones just to feel the bones proof that they are not automatons, who make no bones about it, who felt boneless, skinless, lacking in backbone, felt they have not got a good bone in their body. All bad bones, bones riddled with some sickness eating them from the inside out, who've been down to bare bones of their person, who have sought out bones. Bones hang round their necks of dead mothers, brothers, fathers, friends, sisters, strangers, lovers.